What's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I've got these AirPods in today, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Throw one in if you can hear me. That way I know that these are set up right. All right, so I got a good show today. We're going to be talking about gold and silver. I don't know, we talk about that a lot. But we're going to talk about what's going on with the gold price, what's going on with the silver price, you know, where things could be the rest of this year. And are we going to see silver break 40 bucks or not? Okay, so we're going to hit that. I also want to pull up a couple posts from X that I've been following recently that I think you guys will like. And then I'm going to pull up a couple other videos from other creators, content creators in our space out there. And I think you should go watch them. Okay, if you haven't done it, I think you should. So, you know, to me, I don't really see competition of my channel with other channels that are out there. It's more of competition with everything else in your life that you could do. And for that reason, I like to try to share other things with you guys that I think is going to be valuable too. So if you haven't done so yet, and you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe and bell icon down below. That'll make sure you guys are subscribed and you get notifications. Okay, so that's going to be valuable for you guys going forward. The other thing I want to throw out here is I'm going to be removing all but one level of membership on my channel through YouTube. And the reason for that is there's been some confusion. I've had some people sign up for different mentor programs, and I've got two of them running right now. One of them's on Slice, and then the other thing has just been on YouTube. And the problem with YouTube is there's no way to communicate. So if you sign up for that, there's no way for you or for me to know who you are. I don't know who signed up, and I don't know how to reach you or email you or anything. And so I don't have people emailing me after they sign up with that, and there's been a lot of frustration. So we're going to drop the YouTube memberships. I'm going to drop it down to the one that has most of the people in it. If you notice that your membership leaves, you can go and sign back up for that. And we're going to keep it pretty basic. I think it's like $3 a month or something like that. But what I do want to do is move people over to Slice. So Slice is a program, and I will show you guys a little bit more about it today. And I'll show you some of the posts that I've put out there. But it's a mentor program where you can message me. It's one where I'm going to be doing live streams on there. I may end up taking these live streams and only doing them over there. I got to kind of decide on my time to see what we do. But you can see my trades. You can see what I'm buying in the stock market. You can see what I'm buying as far as cryptos go, and you can see what I'm buying as far as gold and silver goes. I try to put most of those buys out there too. It's a place I put a lot of advice, and it's a place that you guys can get into the brain of Jared here. You can get into my head a little bit, okay? And right now there's a discount code here, Stacker1. If you guys go to it, there's a link in the description down below. But it's $1 for the first month if you sign up for a year. And then after that, it's 40 bucks a month. I've moved it down to the lowest price, okay? This is an app. I don't own the company. And they've got a minimum price that they allow you to go down to. I've lowered it down to the lowest to try to get as many people in there to help you guys as much as possible. And it's a good way for me to communicate with you guys. They also have a one-to-one mentor program on there. So if you guys have interest in that, let me know, and we can get that set up and going for you too. All right. So the other thing I want to throw in, please put your comments in bold. That'll make it easier for me to see them. Super chats are always welcome, but they're not required. And hopefully you guys have a few questions as we go through this stuff. I think we're going to have some fun here. Today, I had to get out of my office. I've been in there all week. And so I wanted to get out to the backyard here. And you can see a little bit of the backyard here. We got the Pacific Ocean is right over there. I'm not quite close enough to see it. There's some hills in the way. But this is a great place, great weather, great time right now, guys. Okay. So first, I just want to welcome everybody into here. Jake's Custom Parts, welcome. Born Hunting, welcome. I've had a few chats going with him. He's been asking about some of the mining stocks. And then we've also got me. I'm in here. Look at that. So we've got Ellen here too. Welcome. We've got Rick, Bruce, Roche. Surfer YouTube says, we're still waiting for you. Well, yeah, that happens sometimes when I don't press the button early enough. I had to make sure these things were working. Sorry, it took a little longer. And like always, if you guys haven't done that, go ahead and hit the subscribers. Let's get it to 20,000 for sure. Let's do it. We've got a lot of good videos coming out, or have been out too. So we're going to hit on that a little bit as well. Now, if you stay until the end, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about where I think my prediction is for the rest of this month, as well as what's going on for the rest of the year for gold and silver. And I think we're going to see, he said, just Rick. I'm going to see, if you guys stay around that, I'll give you guys some ideas of what I think I'm seeing and where I think things are going. Okay. All right. So let me get the X up here real quick so I can show you guys the notifications. Not notifications, sorry, the saved posts that I've been looking at here. So there's a handful of these that I think are really important to hit. And all right. Yep, we're going to do it this way. Okay. I wish there was a way to make it a little bit bigger, so I'll do my best for you guys to be able to see the screen here. Yeah, they smacked down silver. They did today. I don't think it's going to stay that way for very long, though. Okay. Let's see if I can get my screen to share. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. When I add it here, it's pretty small. Okay, let's see if we can go full screen with it. I will click on it like this. Okay, that's a little bigger. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, we all love the debt clock, right? The usdebtclock.org. My glasses on so I can read it. There's a couple things I just want to make sure you guys understand, fundamental things to understand. And we are going to talk about gold and silver today as well. I'm going to show you guys one of the coins I picked up recently too. I don't have it yet, but I have paid for it. I should be getting it on Sunday. So a couple things I just want to point out on this debt clock. The dollar continues to lose value, and I would argue it's probably closer to 2 cents now, not 3. But it basically started off at being worth $1, and over time it has continued to drop in purchasing power. And that's why my parents' first house in California was $30,000, and that thing's now worth $1 million. They don't own it anymore, but that's what's happened. The amount of cash it takes to buy something continues to go up everywhere. So a couple of things I just want to point out here. We have this big point here where they started to seize the gold here. So you can see that gold was starting to be used. They weren't putting as much of the money here, the devaluation. And then Bretton Woods here in 1944, okay? And then you have the gold, basically the death of gold backing, the beginning of the petrodollar in 1971, and it's continued to die since then, and it is really accelerated recently. And this is a concept over here of having a U.S. Treasury dividend dollar that's basically backed by gold, and that something like that could make you guys money going forward. So that's kind of a fun debt clock to go check out and look at. Bald Guy Money, if you're not following him, he's someone I definitely go look at. He's got some good stuff on X, and he also has a YouTube channel. He's got here, gold is the second largest component of the global central bank reserves, okay? So I'm going to go back this way so you guys can still see me on here. So I wanted to show you guys this too, because this is really important. It's only been in the last few years that gold has become a tier 1 asset along with the US dollar. And so central banks have been buying it up like crazy. And what's happening now is you're seeing gold at 20% right here, okay? You're seeing other currencies. You're seeing the euro. You're seeing the US dollar here. And it's the second largest component of it. And Bald Guy Money's projecting that it's going to be 30% by 2030. He might be wrong, but I think he may be he might be right, but I think he could be really wrong about this. If we get into a hyperinflation situation, those percentages are going to totally shift and change, because this is going off of the actual reserves. So as the US dollar loses its money, it's going to shrink in that percentage relative to gold as gold gains more value, in purchasing power. So I think eventually you're going to see that really flip, and I think it will flip before 2030. I would guess it's going to be probably closer to 50 or 60%. That would be my take on it. All right, let's look at let's see here. That's not where we want to be. Just a second. Where's all my save stuff? Am I not seeing it now? Okay, here we go. Okay, so this was an interesting one. Okay, guys, don't get too crazy on this, but this is the silver to gold ratio. All right, so let me see if you guys had any questions on there too. Uh-oh, Rick had to reboot here. Yeah, Bald Guy Money, he's pretty cool. He goes in, he's an analyst, so he goes into a lot more analyzing of things. And I think there's some fun stuff that's there. But okay, so look at this chart here. This is the gold to silver ratio. So, you know, this basically means that the ratios continue to get higher over time here. Okay, guys, you've seen it recently being pretty darn high. I think it was 105, 106 or so. And now it's starting to come down. It's, you know, around 90. I think it's actually lower than that at the moment. But today could have thrown it way off because the numbers have changed. So we're at 87.61 today. Okay, so it's come back up a little bit from 86. I don't think we're done seeing a gold ratio above 100 yet. I think it's going to come back. I think you're going to see gold and silver play a dance where right now we've had silver starting to shoot up where gold was going earlier. I think we might have a little stance here where we see both of them go down for a few days, maybe even a week or two. And then I think it's going to bounce off resistance, and I think you're going to see it starting to go up. So, you know, this is basically showing if we go back to the mean of where the gold to silver ratio has been over time, this is 1964, it's predicting a $500 silver price. Okay. So he's putting it down at 400 to $1,000. So that's amazing. So the first question I want to ask you guys is put silver in the comments if you guys own silver. I'd like to see how many of you own silver. Silver is going to, I shouldn't say it's going to. Silver has a very high probability of blowing away gold when it comes to the percentage gains that you can get in this bull cycle. Silver hasn't even really broken out yet. I know everybody talks about it breaking out. It doesn't break out until it goes over $48, $49. Then it's officially broken out. We don't even have an all-time high yet. Okay, it's like the only thing that doesn't have an all-time high. Everything else has an all-time high, guys. Like everything has hit one in the last couple of years because of all the money printing. Silver is not one of those. And because of that, I think silver has a huge, tremendous potential. Now, I'm not going out and selling my gold and playing the gold to silver ratio right now. I am tempted to do a little bit of it, but gold has a different purpose to me. It's wealth insurance. It's how I insure this house if we were to have massive hyperinflation and maybe the dollar gets really hit hard and housing doesn't keep up with gold keeping up, or if I got laid off or something like that. Gold's much more stable to have. I think that's more, you know, of a better insurance plan. Silver is a great plan as far as it goes to, you know, securing your ability to buy things and food. But it's not going to help you buy a house until we see prices like this, where we see it to start to go up to $500,000. I do think $1,000 is very possible in this gold run, this gold and silver bull run, if we see things like a revaluation happen with gold. If we see gold get revalued to $10,000, I can easily see $1,000 silver, especially if you play the ratio and the ratio starts to go back up. If gold hits $10,000, people aren't going to be rushing out to buy gold. They'll have a hard time even buying grams and 10th ounces. And therefore, they turn over to silver. And when they turn to silver, the silver price starts to really jump. But that is possible if we have a revaluation. If we don't have a revaluation, it's actually still possible to happen too, if we do see gold go up to 10 to 12,000. And that would be somewhere, you know, 2028 to 2032 time frame. Okay. Well, I do want to call out Born Hunting. Thank you very much for the super chat. That helps with the channel a lot. And I will have to see, mods, I don't know if you can find my video with the metal detector on it, but that's where Born Hunting is. We'll have to see if we can get the link in there so you guys can go check it. What is the silver I speak of? I don't know. You'll have to ask me more. I don't know what I said. Too much, very heavy. Want to dump it. So silver is heavy, guys. It's a hard one to really keep, but I see a lot of you guys have silver. Aluminum is an interesting one too. You know, it is a metal, and we're into a commodity super cycle. So I expect copper, aluminum, a lot of these metals to go up. So I see that you guys have a lot of silver, which is great. I think silver has the highest potential, but I also think it's going to be one that is the hardest to kind of predict in what it's going to do. It's going to be squirrely all over the place, guys. It's going to go up and down, sideways. You're going to see a lot of different things. Like, it is down 91 cents today. So the change, it's down 2.33%. It got smashed hard today. Now, the banks are still shorting it, or you wouldn't see some of that action. There will be a day where the banks will have to decide something, and that is going to be that they go all in, and they're going to try to really crush this down, and that could be the day that they break because they're not able to cover it, and they will have to decide either to take massive losses or to basically cough up their silver. And they also have, and some of the banks could do this, they also have the ability to decide to ride the wave and just let it roll, and basically lose the money on the shorts and go long and try to make money up on the long side. They could do that, but they aren't. So you just got to watch out for that. It's hard to say exactly where it's going to go. So Silent Silver came in to say hi. Thank you very much. And Amy has been a great channel member for a long time. So 16 months. That is awesome. And let's see if we got anything else on here real quick from you guys before I jump to the next one. Oh, physical silver. Yeah. So we're going to talk about my favorite kind of silver here in a minute for physical. We will talk a little bit about some of the silver miners. We can hit some of that too for you guys. They definitely are a hard stock to hold on to because there's so much volatility in them. The gold stocks are much better right now, but the silver stocks have a tremendous amount of upside. So this line that you see here on the screen, if we have the ratio go back to, I don't know, let me see if I don't think it has it on the chart here. It doesn't really say what that exact ratio would be, but it would be whatever the ratio is at on the extreme measure, right, guys? This is extreme. 1968. Let's see if we can find that. Maybe you guys can find it faster than me. 1968 GSR. Let's see where we are. That isn't the right thing. Okay. There was some kind of a GSR Buick car in 1968. Let me see if one of you guys found it before I did. Let's see if you guys found it. All right, no one's found it yet. Okay, we'll talk about platinum in a minute too. So we will hit platinum. All right. Okay, so Rick has it. It's 16 to 17. Okay, so if we get to a 16 to 17 GSR ratio, you could have $500 silver. Okay, now please do not go out and buy silver thinking it's going to $500 or even to 1,000. I wouldn't do that. That to me is not the purpose of silver. You buy silver because you like it. You buy it because it's something that you believe is going to continue to go up in value and because it's money. But I wouldn't go overly speculate with it. It is hard to say if it's going to hit that level or if it's going to blow it away, and in what time frame. You know, there's factors that could happen. I hate seeing people buy too much silver and overpay for it when they buy it with high premiums, and then they have to end up selling it in an emergency situation, and they end up just losing like 20 to 30% of the money that they put into it. That's not how we want to do this. Anytime you sell gold or silver, you should be selling it for much more than what you paid for it. That's another reason I like gold is when you go to sell gold, if you buy it right, I try to buy most of my gold below spot. It takes time to build those networks. That's something I do share on Slice. But if you buy gold below spot and it continue and you don't buy it at its all-time high, right? And you continue to see it go up, it's something that's easier to move in and out of. Silver is a little bit squirrelier on that, so you got to be careful. All right, we had Tiger in here too. So he's been a member for 20 months, guys. Go check out Tiger Stacking. Surfer's awesome, even though he did not take Tiger to Hawaii. Bad surfer. Well, Tiger, if silver gets to $1,000 and a Dr. Pepper doesn't cost $100, maybe I'll take you out to Hawaii. Okay, we'll see what happens. Let's see here. You can do it, guys. Look around for the deals. So let's hit this for a minute. Right now, we're seeing more people selling gold and silver than buying it. Okay, you can ask Andy Schectman. You can ask probably your LCS. Then why would the prices be higher? Well, retail buyers like you and me, we don't really move the price of gold and silver very much. That's mostly moved by institutions and banks that are playing the market. It's by companies that are having to acquire silver for solar panels. Okay, it's more of that use that you see it really moving. Now, could we potentially make a difference? I guess if everybody went out and bought 1,000 ounces of silver in the same day, maybe you would see it move. Or if we got everybody in the country to go buy 1 ounce, something along those lines. But short of something like that, you're really just not going to see much of a move that comes from us. And a lot of people are feeling the crunch. I'm feeling the crunch. I mean, it's so expensive living here in California. We're in the process of trying to figure out getting our house ready, selling it, moving to another place, because it is crushing us. I mean, we're just getting completely crushed. And I make really good money, but you can't make really good money. You have to make incredible money to keep paying the bills here. When you look at buying below spot, it really comes down to understanding where you can find it, looking in your local community, meeting people, going to coin shows, talking to coin shops. You might be able to get a better price as you build a good relationship with the coin shop, because they may be sending a lot of their stuff off to the melter. And if they can make an extra, 50 cents or $1 per ounce selling it to you versus them, even if it's below what they normally sell at, they may be willing to do some of that. But that's something you would want to have a discreet conversation with them on when there's not other customers around. The other thing is finding networks of people around. So I've got a couple people around here locally that will call me up or text me and say, hey, I've got, this at spot. I've got that at spot. Let me see if I can pull up my texting here. I don't know if I'll be able to share my texting, but let me see if I can get a picture here to show you guys a silver coin that I bought last Sunday. And it should show up this Sunday. So let's see. I think I can maybe share it this way. You guys will like this. Okay, I found them. So let me see if I can get this to come through. I just got to bring them down here to share on my screen. Okay. So I bought this silver at spot. Okay, not all silver is going to go below spot, and you'll see what I bought, and you'll understand why. Okay, there we go. All right, let me see if I can get these on my screen for you guys. Just bear with me for a second. Just takes a second for us to load these real fast. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what I just recently bought. All right, I'm going to take that off. This is true. A lot of constitutional selling under spot. And one of the reasons you know that is because a lot of the big bullion dealers are selling it at spot. They have a lot more overhead. All right, let me see if I can get the image to go again. It had an error. Let's see if it'll come up. Yes, I know. It's going to the moon, guys. I really do think it's going to keep going like crazy. So, here's what I'll tell you guys. Always keep cash on hand for emergencies so you don't have to sell your silver at a low price. Like today, if you bought yesterday and all of a sudden your car blows up and you need to buy a new car and all you have is silver and you have to buy it today, you lost a lot of money. So you don't want to do that. As long as you've got cash around, you can definitely go after silver. Just make sure you're not paying crazy amounts of premium. You have to also understand different times the premiums are different, right? So we could get to a point in time where they're selling it for above spot significantly. It could be like a 10, 20% premium on silver. And we've seen that with some things. Okay, now this is my surfer Hawaii. Here we come. So thank you, Tiger, for the super chat. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I want to show you guys. I picked this up on Sunday. So one of my local friends here, I recently picked up 4 100-ounce bars from him back in May. No, let's see. Yeah, May at, I want to say it was like $32.50 or $32.80. It was 50 cents back a spot per ounce. And I bought 4 100-ounce Scottsdale stacker bars. Okay. I don't like 100-ounce bars. I didn't really want those, but it was a good price. So I'm like, okay, surfer, buy them. Let's buy them. And my goal is to take those and get another 100 ounces and then basically see if I can trade it in for a monster box of Buffaloes, or maybe I'll pay a little premium and go with Eagles. So you guys need to tell me, should I trade that in for a monster box of Eagles, put a 1 in, a monster box of generic silver, put a 2, or should I turn it into junk silver, put a 3 in? But anyway, this is the one I picked up here. I picked it up at spot. Let's see if I can tell you guys the price. Let me see if I can find my text. Okay, here's the text. And let's see. We always kind of lock in the spot price, but I don't know if we had written it down here. I don't have it down right now, but this would have been last Sunday. And I think we locked the price in, yeah, on Friday. So after close, we locked in the price. But it does come in a case. It's a kilo of silver at spot, 4 9s fine silver. It's a kookaburra. I mean, who doesn't like kookaburras? To be able to pick that up at spot, I think is pretty killer. Now, if this was not a kookaburra, it was something that was generic, I would really try to get it a little bit below that. Here's the back of it, $30. You've got the queen on there. So it's a pretty darn looking, pretty cool coin. We'll just leave it up there for a minute. All right, so I want to see what else you guys put in here in the comments real fast. I don't know. I didn't make it over to the store. You guys, this is kind of crazy. I mean, I've been blessed in my life to go out to Hawaii several times. Usually I go scuba diving and snorkeling. We usually do a little surfing. This trip, we just chilled at the beach. I guess I just needed a lot of relaxation. And I did the one live stream with Andy that we had to record and put out. But besides that, it was just kind of chilling and hanging at the beach. You know, waves were basically a foot to 2 feet. They weren't anything to write home about. But it was fun. We just enjoyed it. But I don't know. I didn't make it over to the coin shop. My guess is if it's something that's coming, you know, silver's kind of heavy. So there may be a little bit of an extra shipping premium, but I don't think it's going to be like a crazy, you know, premium over that. But I think there will be a little bit of a higher premium. So I've had some arguments with Silver Dragons on this, on an email back and forth. He definitely thinks this is way overstated. It's maybe closer to like a kilo of silver maybe in these missiles from one of the sources he had on a video. Now, I don't know. I just go off of what Andy says. Andy Schectman says there's about 500 ounces in there, and he's had someone in the military confirm that to him, but we can't, there's no evidence to confirm it. I wouldn't count on this being what changes the gold and silver price. That's not why the price is going up, because, hey, there's 500 ounces in a Tomahawk missile. The important thing that this matters, and it's really not how many ounces are in the missile. We've just sent a lot of our ammunitions, especially the ones that were kind of outdated, over to Ukraine. They've been using them for the last several years. And we're going to have to start to replenish and rebuild, right? The key to know is we do not have a strategic silver reserve for military use. They have to go and buy that silver. And I believe we're at about 6.5 years in arrears of the silver mining supply to available above ground supply. And so that's why you're seeing, it's part of why you're seeing the silver go up. Okay, there's also speculation. People are concerned about the economy, and they're concerned about where things are headed in the world in general. But it is an interesting thing because it's used. Now, we've got these new Samsung batteries that are supposed to be like 1 kilo of silver in each of those, plus what goes in their cars. So usage of silver is going to keep going up. I don't know if I have that chart handy to show you guys or not. Yeah, so you look at this, you guys, when you need to understand how they're selling it, okay? If a company or a bullion dealer is selling you constitutional silver or junk silver at spot, it should be going by the ounce, okay? If it's not going by the ounce, it's going by a dollar face, then it may not be that great a price. You need to kind of look at that. To me, that would be higher than anything I've ever purchased, because I think that's going to put you somewhere close to like $40 per dollar face, which is really high. I've never done that. So actually 30, sorry, 30. Be careful, look out for that too. Make sure you're doing the math on it. So you'll have to do that. That would be pretty good to see how much silver the government's going through. Platinum at spot. So Rick, if you want to put in where you found that, let us know. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so we got a bunch of ones. You guys like the Eagles, okay? So we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 votes to swap my silver over to a monster box of Silver Eagles. And I've got 1, 2, 3 for generics. So I think that's interesting. So one thing I will tell you guys is when we see all this new legislation coming in for the states around silver, some of them are being very specific on what is excluded from paying capital gains tax in the state. For that reason, I think Silver Eagles could end up having a better value in the long run, even though they may cost a little bit more to buy. But as always, I try not to pay more than maybe $2 premium for a Silver Eagle over what I can get Buffaloes for. But I also look to see what I can find at a good deal. Like I bought those 100-ounce bars. I don't really want them. I mean, they're cool bars. If you're going to buy bars, the stacker bars are the best because they line up in a safe well. They don't fall all over the place. But a 100-ounce silver bar is hard to move. Now, when silver goes to $1,000, that's going to be really hard to sell. It's not a U.S. coin, and so the dealer is going to have to report it. So honestly, if I get to $1,000 silver and I'm still holding those bars, I'm going to have to cut them up, and I'm going to have to put them into smaller chunks. And I think that's one reason why I recommend not holding onto those. My largest bars, besides that, I do have a couple kilo bars that are the stacking shields. But most of my silver is going to be in a 10-ounce bar. I don't really bother too much with the 5-ouncers. I know there's a lot of 10-ounce bars at Costco. At least in the stores around here, they're all sold out. You can't find them. You can't find gold. It's all the metals are sold out at Costco. You can oftentimes find them online. You have to look for that. And to me, they're still a little high. I'd like to see the prices come down a little bit. So here's the play for Costco. I'll give you guys, this is a tip that I'll give you. Wait and see what happens here. So I think we're going to see silver go back and test $35 right now. It looks like they're trying to smash it down really hard. We ended at 38. We ended at 38.20. I think they're going to try to push it down as hard as they can to 35. I don't think it's really going to go below that. Keep in mind, if it does, then we're going to 32. And if it goes below that, we're going down to 30, and we could keep going lower. And that's why I say you could still see the gold to silver ratio go up over $100 again. And it's a ratio, guys. So if gold stays where it's at and silver goes down to 30, you're going to see that ratio over 100. If gold continues to fall at the same time silver does, then you won't see the ratio go higher. You'll just see both of them go down. You have to remember that prices are always going to fluctuate. They're going to test their resistance, which is at the top, and they're going to test their support, which is at the bottom. I need to get set up this weekend with my trading view, and I'll start to do some charts to show you guys. I'm not going to turn into a charting channel. If you want a lot of charting expertise, you go to Bald Guy Money. You also go to North Star Bad Charts and see what they're doing, what Kevin's doing over there. I am going to be getting that set up, though, so I can officially share it on YouTube, so I can point out some basics for you guys. Okay, we're not going to get into anything too hardcore, but I want to be able to show you what's going on. Without me having that chart in front of me right now, I can't tell you exactly where the resistance and the support is. But I think on a video I watched last night, they were talking about 35. And that was from Kevin, by the way. So if you see those levels go down a little bit, down to 35, you wait until Costco goes to put out their new inventory out there and starts to adjust the price, because, well, what happens is Costco lowers their price down and they leave it there until all the silver sells out. So now that the silver's all sold out, as this price goes down, Costco's going to have to adjust the price, put it down lower. And then what happens is if you go get the executive card plus the city credit card, and there's no extra fees if you use their credit card, by the way, which is pretty darn cool, you'll get 4% back. So the play at Costco is wait for the silver prices to go down, wait for them to sell out of their silver, and then wait for them to put the silver out again, and it'll be at a better price. This is at the warehouses, is a little easier to do. And then you go and buy as much as you can afford, as much as they'll let you buy. You put it on the credit card, and if you take the 4% cash rebate you're going to get at the end of the year, or next year in February, you basically oftentimes are buying silver below spot. And they're premium PAMPs, PAMP Swiss bars. Okay, so that's what I'll tell you guys there. Yes, this was a great video with my daughters. If you guys haven't seen that yet, and maybe I'll show just a couple quick videos that I recommend you guys go take a look at after here. I think it's good for any of your granddaughters or for your kids that may be thinking about getting it, understanding silver a little bit. I can tell you, if you don't educate your family and you leave them a bunch of silver and gold, they're more likely to just take it to a pawn shop and get rid of it. And, they're going to lose a lot of value. I have an interview coming out with Tangible Investments here pretty soon. We've filmed six videos. We're just editing them all up now. They're an example of a company that does estate sale planning for you, so that if something were to happen to you, it's worked out with your attorney, and they'd be the company that would help liquidate it. It's really good if you have a collection that has a lot more value than the spot price. It's also really good to have someone like that, or your LCS, to have a business card in your safe in case something happens to you. Put it to your living will, to your trust, or just leave it with your metals, so that people know that they can call someone that they can trust that will help them liquidate it if they decide to do that. More importantly is help educate them so they don't decide to sell it, so that they decide to keep it going for generations in the family. So yeah, there's a little from Gold Maple. There's some education here on kookaburras. They have minted the Australian silver kookaburra since 1990. Best designs, at least to him, is 2004, 2008, 9, 15, and 16. I agree. A lot of those are pretty good ones, and they all have a little bit of a different value to them. What I like about the coins themselves, if you can pick up a kookaburra for the price of a silver round, I mean, that is awesome. If you have to pay $1 or $2 more, it's usually worth it. They look so much nicer than even a silver eagle. The way that they finish the coins is really nice. What I have a hard time with them is if people start paying a little bit too much to get it like a high premium. Neophyte Stacker says 10 to 15 ounces in a Tomahawk missile. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a missile guy. So, it doesn't really matter how much is actually in there. What matters is there's not a strategic reserve for silver. We know that silver has to be used in military applications. And so as they need to replenish everything and start to build stuff, there's going to be more demand for it. Rick's done the math on it too. So let's see. He says it comes under just 400 ounces. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about how many ounces are in there. Just know that there's silver in our military weapons. And when I was watching the Silver Dragon show, I don't remember who he had on as a guest, but he said that you could pick up the silver that's left after a missile's fired. I asked Grok, X's AI, and it said most of it's going to be vaporized into such small particles that you're not going to be able to find it. And so there's a lot of people have different beliefs that are out there, and it's okay to have different beliefs. The thing to keep in mind is we just don't have any silver, so the country has to go buy it on the open market. What happens if they decide to go and create a strategic reserve of silver because of military? That would be interesting. You know, that hasn't happened yet, but that would be pretty interesting. OC is late to the game, even with notifications. It's all good, OC. We love you. All right, so let's see what we got here. So yeah, so just to that point, the warhead itself is what's going to have vaporized silver. You could have the back part of it, you know, the fins, maybe the housing could still have some extra scrap silver from it. But yeah, that could happen. All right, let's see what we got here. Grams. We got the debate going on. All right, so yeah, guys, hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you're watching on your TV, grab your phone and add it there. That way you can communicate with us too. Okay, so it's only a 1/10 ounce that was at spot for the platinum. So let's talk about platinum. You guys had a couple questions on platinum real quick. Here's the deal on platinum. And I'm going to take you to, we'll take you to a video here to demonstrate this real fast. So let's stop sharing that one. And I'm going to share my YouTube screen. I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff on here. But what I want to go to is Capital Cosm real quick. Capital Cosm's a good guy to watch. He does a lot of cool interviews. And it is this video right here. I want to, I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry, guys. Let me come back on here. All right. Capital Cosm. So this interview, he did an interview with Kevin here. Let's see. Right here. So 2 days ago. I'll just bring it up, but I won't play it. It'll be kind of loud in there. Actually, I don't know if it's going to even come through on the screen or not. But they have some great charts on here. And what they were talking about is they believe that gold is going to go up. They believe that platinum is going to go up, but they believe silver is going to basically go way higher than both of those. I hear that from a lot of people. I've got, I think it's, gosh, I'm forgetting his name. Silver Gold, Gold Silver. Just a second. It's Robert Kiyosaki's guy. Gold Silver. Oh. That was bugging me. Mike Maloney. Okay. So Mike Maloney also had a recent video. And I think it's this one here, day ago. One, and I think the chart is right here. This is I think this is the chart that they're showing, and basically Mike Maloney's stack has been going from 50% gold and silver to like almost 75% silver. So that's kind of interesting. So you're getting some of these big guys that are moving out of their gold into the silver, which makes sense with the gold to silver ratio. But when you hear that, also keep in mind, they probably have a lot of gold and a lot of silver. So if you only have like 10 ounces of gold and you're considering selling your 10 ounces to go buy silver, you know, I'd be cautious on doing that. But if you have like 1,000 ounces of gold and you decide you're going to maybe sell 500, swap 500 of those for silver, it's a different situation. You still have 500 ounces of gold. And a lot of these guys that are talking about doing these moves, they have a huge amount of, they're like $1 million into these things, if not multi-millions into metals. All right, let's see what we got from you guys here. Yep, that's a good price. I don't think I've paid. I think the most expensive I've ever paid for an Eagle is at $38 so far. But that right now, that's a great price. They've been sitting around like $42, $43. Same with Constitutional. Most of my Constitutional I bought at $18 per dollar face. I'm having a hard time picking up more of it unless I can get it way below spot. It's psychological. But that is a good price for right now. All right, let me see what else you guys have in here. And then I want to go back over to X in a second. Yeah, it's not the right coin for everybody, guys, but I will tell you, if you're going to buy lots of monster boxes of Silver Eagles, and you're doing that in, let's say, an investment type form, and you plan on selling those back down at some point instead of just passing them down the family, Silver Eagles could end up being a better tax strategy than, rounds, for example. I think the Silver Eagle's a really nice looking coin. It's not my favorite looking coin. I think the Kookaburras look a lot nicer. I think the Maple Leaves look nicer. And a lot of that comes down to having a more pure silver. And I've kind of given up on Britannias. I don't really buy Britannias anymore because I continue to just get milk spots on those all the time. You guys are not going to let the missile thing die, are you? We're now at $1.5 to $2 million a missile. They are expensive. And by the way, the government's not going to care what the price of silver is. They're just going to keep making their missiles anyway. So, it is what it is. All right, let's go back to X real quick. I wanted to show you guys a few more things there. All right. Okay, we're going to go back here. I got to pull it back up. All right. So let's go back to X real quick, and then we'll go back to the comments. What did I put on this one here? Stocks are in a bubble. S&P 500 Shiller PE price to earnings ratio hits 38.79, which is really high, guys. Levels only seen before the 1929, 1999, and 2007 crashes. Okay, that doesn't mean we're about to have a crash. It means that the same indicator number has been seen before those crashes. So it could be an indicator that we're about to have a crash. Great capital rotation into gold and silver is incoming. Okay, this is the same thing that that Kevin Wadsworth from North Star Bad Charts was talking about 2 days ago on Capital Cosmos. He talked about mine maybe about a month ago. There's this capital rotation that's going on, money going out of the stock market into gold. And in that video, they really show some cool things. I'm going to let me put the link in here for you guys too. They showed some really cool charts that went into the stock market priced in gold. And you're losing a ton of money if your money's in the stock market and it's not in gold. Now, that doesn't mean you rush out and sell your stock market holdings. Okay, guys, I can't give you financial advice. I'm not telling you to go do that. But what I'm saying is you're going to be getting a better return on your investment if you're just looking at overall indexes. Okay, individual stocks could do better going into gold and silver right now than just keeping it in the stock market. But you may have money in the stock market because you need the cash flow, and getting cash flow off your gold and silver kind of defeats the purpose of holding that, because you have to get a third-party risk to go do that by giving it to them, and they give you some money in exchange for it. But I don't think you're going to see that too much. All right, let's see what else we got here. I don't know about you guys, but OC Stacker, maybe OC Stacker needs to get his channel going here, because he, I don't want to say out loud. I'll let him say it out loud, but I don't know anybody that's won as much silver from YouTube channels as he has. All right. Yeah, I'd be careful with proofs, guys, on silver. They're fun to have a couple of them, but you're going to usually pay a lot more money for them. And at the end of the day, you're only going to get that money back if there's still a collectibles market that is strong. All right, next one I want to show you guys here real quick. Make sure you can see it. Yep, okay. This is interesting. So this is the world debt. And so the warning here is we're now officially crossed over $300 trillion in debt. That's not good. So things are going to break. You can see it all started in 71 when we went off the gold standard. We went on the petrodollar. Now, look at that chart and ask yourself, why did we go off of the gold standard? They knew that they wanted to go and print debt. They knew they wanted to go and expand things. They know they wanted to rebuild things. They got drunk on the idea of debt and being able to get things today that they can't afford. And they knew that they'd pay the price down the road. And we're getting closer to that. So it's not, are we going to have a collapse? Are we going to have a stock market crash? Are we going to have a financial reset? It's not if, it's when. Okay, it's going to happen. These things all blow up in all of history. And it's going to be ugly when it happens. Those with gold and silver are going to be feeling a lot better about life than the ones that don't. All right, gold, silver. What if silver could actually hit $100 an ounce? It's not just possible, it might be inevitable. Our new article dives into that. Okay, so that's very similar. I did a video, my last video with Andy Schectman that was live. We talked about why $100 silver is inevitable. Okay. So let's see what else you guys have in here. It's getting more humid here. My hair's getting all frizzy. Let's see. So yeah, Neophyte likes to check A-Mark stocks. That one's good. Maybe we could look at a couple stocks to show you guys in a second here. I don't know if I have that on my computer. Do I have the stock app on here? Let me look. Oh, it's on my phone. Yeah, okay, don't. Let's do this. What we're going to do, give me just a second here. So I'll just pull up a couple of these stocks for you guys to just take a look at. This is a lot of what I do with my Sliced members. We'll go through my stock trades, you know, where I'm putting money and stuff. So one I want to show you guys that had a really good earnings that just came out yesterday. At the end of the day is Newmont Corporation. So let's get that up for you guys. I might actually win some silver. That'd be pretty exciting. OC helps me with things, and I have to hide silver in his car because he won't let me pay him. So he's always going back and forth on that. Okay, here we go. So Newmont Corporation, check this out, guys. They beat earnings, and so you can see that they have jumped up here. Let's see, from basically $63 up to $65. So that's a pretty good jump. And one of the other things that I like about this stock too, it not only just being like, I believe it's the biggest silver mining stock or gold mining stock, but let's see, where's their dividend? It pays out 1.63%. Okay, it used to be a lot better. I think it was up to 5% at one time. But you can see this. The miners are starting to do really well, and it's because they're selling their gold that they're mining for a lot more than they were, you know, last year. And so as that tick keeps going up, they continue to be going up quite a bit. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it will until it breaks. So I don't expect silver going over $100 until the COMEX is broken and they can't short it anymore, or the banks have lost too much money and they stop doing it. Going over 40, I think, is very possible. Based on what's happening right now with the slam down today, I think we're probably not going to see 40 by the end of the month. But I do think we could see 40 for sure at the end of the year. But I think we could potentially see that 40 hit in August. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Let's see. So talking about kind of the 100-ounce bar here, Daniel says on the 100-ounce bars, I'd expect you can spend them. I'd SHTF scenario oversell them. So yeah, you can. I mean, they will be spendable, guys. It comes down to ease of use, right? So if I pick those bars up below spot and those bars sell at a big premium over spot price, I think they're probably even today still going for $40 an ounce. And I picked them up at 32.50 or so. If I can trade those in for silver that's in smaller denominations, I prefer doing that myself. It's a little easier to do one coin at a time than it is a big bar. But I wouldn't go trade out a 100-ounce bar to take a big loss on it, right? So if I can trade 4 100 ounces bars for a monster box of Silver Eagles, done deal. I'll do that. But if I have to come up with, another $500, $1,000 to do it, then you got to kind of weigh it and see if it's worth doing that. You may want to go with rounds, or you may decide, hey, I'm going to hold on to the bars. But they are a little harder to sell and move. Meanwhile, the stable coin is rolling in. So let's talk about that for a second here too, guys. But before I do that, though, I do want to jump onto another stock pick. So not a financial advice, but I'll tell you guys, this was one to buy a couple days ago. And I think it will continue to do well. It's not going to get you the crazy big returns of some of the other stocks. But I do think that one's going to do pretty well. And then I think another one that has some really good potential. So I'll give you a silver one. And let's see, I don't think earnings have come out for them yet. They come out on August 6th. Okay, but they blew their earnings out of the water Q1. So if they blow their earnings out of water for Q2, this stock's going to go a lot higher. Okay. So this is Pan American Silver. So this is another one that I think is a good one to be watching and to hold, guys. Don't know what my notifications for. And it doesn't exist. It's gone. I don't know. It's not loading. Anyway, I don't know why that one's not loading. Can you guys see anything? All right, there we go. So let's just take this one out year to date. It's up 46% year to date. And for last year, 36. So just in year to date, it's 46. That's pretty good, especially for a mining stock right now at the beginning of a gold and silver bull run. So those are kind of the two picks I'll give you guys. When I'll just do another quick little ad thing here for my stuff. For Slice, I'm going to be hitting this a lot harder. This is going to be the way to communicate with me. It's going to be the way to gain access to my trades. It's going to be the way, it's just more convenient for me. It's easier for me to keep track of it and to help you guys. And it'll be more of a closed community. At the most, it's $40 a month. And you can do month to month. If you want to sign up for a year in advance, they'll give you the first month for $1. So you'll get a little bit of a savings. I've taken it down to the lowest price that they will allow me to offer it on the platform. And it's for you guys. I'll also probably be setting up some one-to-one sessions on there too. That's going to be an additional cost to do the one-on-ones. But a lot of your questions can probably get answered just in the regular public forums. If you want to dive into personal specific stuff, then we can set up some one-on-one sessions through that. But that'll have an additional fee to it. All right, so check that out. I think you guys are going to like that. And now let's get rid of that screen. Okay, so what I do want to talk to you guys is the stablecoin stuff. I do want to hit that, and that'll kind of be the last thing we hit today on the show here. So one of you guys had just talked about it. I'm going to pull a minute ago, so I'm going to pull it up here. The Genius Act. It's the names that they name these bills. It just get me going, right? Like with Congress, it's like a lot of times they name a bill that does the exact opposite of what the name is exact opposite of what the bill does. Okay, like the Inflation Reduction Act added like $1 trillion. Okay, that was stupid. That's not real. It didn't reduce any inflation. You have like the infrastructure bill. I don't see any new infrastructure going up anywhere, and I travel around the country. There's no bridges going up. They're not redoing the roads. Where did that money go? I don't know. So it's a freaking joke. This Genius Act is not genius. So there's basically three bills that came out. One of them basically makes it so that we're no longer able to do a CBDC. Okay. I haven't read it, but unless it specifically states the functionality of what a CBDC does, it doesn't mean anything. It's just basically put a name on it. Stable coins, we have new legislation to make stable coins legal and to make those go, and they're going to be audited, so they'll be safer because they'll be back to the dollar, right? It's a way to kind of soak up more U.S. treasuries and dollars. And then you've got another act that came out. I forget what the third one is. You guys will have to remind me. But with the stablecoin one specifically, the main thing I want to put out there is it's still a digital currency, still a cryptocurrency. It has on-ramps and off-ramps. So you've got to move money from the bank into it, and you got to move money from it back into cash in your bank, right? My concern with things that are digital with that is if you want to have cash on hand or you want to turn it into metals, there could be restrictions that happen with stable coins. You could see a lot of the same concerns we have around CBDCs happen with stable coins. So for me, I don't think it's a great thing. It's maybe better than not having anything, but I think it's also kind of a false sense of security that a stable coin is going to be what, saves us or helps us out. So I still get worried about, what's going to happen with those. It's one of the reasons I like to stack is I want to have money out of that digital system that doesn't have surveillance, that doesn't watch everything that goes on. I want to have my wealth in a place that I can see it and visit it. I don't want my wealth just sitting in a bank account somewhere. Okay. So that's kind of my take on that. Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin was created to be a sponge to soak up the excess dollars and all of the treasury T-bills and bonds that we keep issuing to create more debt to pay the country. I think its purpose right now is to suck all of that up to kind of keep the economy still going. And I think you're going to see the price continue to go higher on that. But it always crashes after a 4-year cycle, and we're going to be getting there next year. So if you guys are in the crypto market, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you understand that there's cycles and that these things go up and then they go down a lot. Also understand that we're looking at gold and silver going up for the next, basically 4 years, maybe longer. And, just kind of time things right. I'd hate for people to put a bunch of money into the cryptos. They make money and then they lose it on the way down, and then they can't get into the gold and silver because it's gone up a lot. So just be careful with that. All right, let's see. I just want to see your last comments here real quick, guys. Okay. So you guys are having fun in here talking about different coins. All right, so Rick said something here. The third one makes it illegal for the Fed to have anything to do with it. Oh, okay. So I don't care what it is. If it's issued by a company like Ripple, third-party company, if it's issued by the U.S. Treasury or issued by the Federal Reserve, it really doesn't make any difference. It's digital and it's on a public ledger, which means that every transaction is recorded for anybody to see. If they can track your wallet to your personal identification, which any of those three companies are going to do with KYC, CLM, And so, that's one of the issues I have there is what if that wallet gets out and people can see exactly how much you have and what you spend on? It's just, you don't have privacy for it. The other issue is it can make it very easy for the government to decide to tax things ahead of time, and then you get your return later. I don't like that idea either. And then last, it is digital. It would take reprogramming, but it could be programmed to do things like not be allowed to buy certain things, or have restrictions, or your account zeroes out every month. Unless that's written in the legislation, then we still have those risks that can come with like a CBDC. Yeah, it's honestly, if you really want to know what happened in 71 and the debt and stuff, we've been at war that whole time. It's basically the military-industrial complex trying to take things over. All right, let me see. Last comment here. Okay. Gold Maple, the best silver bullion coins minted by the Perth Mint are the Australian Silver Lunar Silver Series 1 and 2. They're right now on Series 3, but I don't like the designs. Series 1 and 2 are the best. I'd agree, even with gold. The gold Series 2 have been pretty popular too. I think the ones were pretty good too. Yeah, that'll never happen unless they actually make sure they know who's voting. So California's rigged. I'm pretty sure that this would become a red state if only citizens voted in California. But I do not believe that's happening. All right, guys, I want to thank you for coming out. I do have a couple cool videos that'll be coming out. So this will be the last thing I'm going to show you guys if you want to hang around just for a minute here. I am going to bring this back up to stage. I just want to point out a couple of the videos I've had recently here. So we're going to go back to YouTube. And I wanted to, I'm just going to hit my channel real quick, just in case you guys have missed some of these. There we go. All right. So we were looking at him earlier. If you go to videos here real quick, a couple videos I just want to point out. If you guys have not watched this video from my interview with Eric Young, this is going to tell you how the, okay, I gotta make sure I've shown it. This video here is going to show you guys how the LBMA and the COMEX work and why we're seeing prices of silver going up and this manipulation and the silver squeeze that could potentially be coming on. So look at that right there. Now, notice we didn't end up having a silver squeeze right now because they shorted it down. It's just going to keep building up. This one's my one of my nieces and my two daughters testing their knowledge about gold and silver. So that one's kind of fun. I think that's a great one for kids. And I might try to get a few more of these with younger people on here too, just so we can educate the younger folks. These two are kind of fun of me in Hawaii, just talking about gold and silver, what to buy. Andy, this is a really important one here from Andy Schectman. If you haven't watched that, definitely go do that. This really tells you a lot of things you need to know about the silver market and where things are going. And then kind of my last recent one here is, really talking about retirement. Can you retire on gold and silver? Are there other things you might want to look at? So it's just another thing to be thinking about in your mind as you guys get ready for stuff. And then my last one I'll just throw out here is how to start stacking gold and silver the smart way. So I have basically 10 different ways I do it. And I'll be putting some shorts out this week on a couple of these videos so you guys can see shorter segments of it. But there's a bunch of different ways you guys can stack. None of them are wrong. They're just different. And they have different purposes. And I'm going to be making videos about each one of those different ways to stack. I just need to find the time to do it. And then last one is Kevin down here. This is a little bit dated, 2 months old. But anything you can see with Kevin out there, I would definitely go look at. As far as lives go, we had a good one with Andy a couple days ago. I guess it's been 10 days, so we'll probably have him on again next Tuesday. I think this one was really good, talking about silver. We hit a lot of stuff. And then with Sean's Precious Bullion, we did a platinum video. So if you guys haven't seen anything on platinum recently, go check that out. And then with Nick's coins, will silver finally outshine gold? So that's the big question, guys. And then shorts, last thing I'm just going to show. I'm having fun with AI at the moment here, just screwing around with these shorts. So if they're bugging you guys like crazy and you hate them, let me know. Otherwise, they're kind of fun. put out there. But my brother was a huge Hulk Hogan fan, and I got dragged to a couple of the arenas and shows, and I actually was pretty fun. So I did a couple tribute here to Hulk Hogan using AI, and then a lot of these other ones are just kind of fun ideas that pop into my head. I throw out that will point you to some of the videos that are going on. But I thought, what if you had a house, a mansion that had safe in the middle of it with alligators? Like, would that be a really good deterrent? Or you put your safe in the middle of an aquarium with sharks? So we're just, some of these are just kind of off the wall fun. But if you guys enjoy those, let me know. I'll make more of them. We'll keep having fun. I put tiger stacking in this one. You know, I did a coin shop where we have $1,000 silver in the window, which is kind of fun too. But you guys let me know. And then this one's the only one I've done that's like a minute long, and it's a silver robbery. It's like a little short movie. It's called Silver a Rootin' Tootin' Cowboy Adventure. But anyway, that's what we've got for you guys tonight. If you have any other questions, let me know. Last thing I'm going to do is just hit you with a couple banners here real quick. If you haven't looked at Miles Franklin yet, to think about getting gold and silver, or even selling to them, I think he's got the best prices out there when he buys, to be honest. He also has good prices when he's buying from you. I haven't found anybody that buys for more. When he's selling to you, he has very competitive prices. I think they're better than most of the online bullion dealers that I've looked at. And so I've been buying from him recently with most of my purchases when they're not local. And all you have to do to set up an account is email them, info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Stacking Surfer sent you. There'll be a small referral fee that comes to the channel, helps us keep the lights on and everything. But I would do that before things get crazy, when everybody's rushing at the same time to try to set up an account or to buy and sell things. You'll get a personal person, and the same person every time. You'll get their cell phone number. Well, you might get their cell phone number. You can ask them for it. And you'll have their email at the very least to be able to communicate with them and to be able to get things set up. So definitely look at that. Slice. This is the mentor program. $1 for the first month stacker. 1 is the code. The way to get into it is the link down below in the description. And I'm going to make this a really cool, fun community. You guys are going to see my stock trades. You're going to see my silver pickups. You're going to see my posts on, you know, what I'm thinking about, what I'm doing, what my next move is, where I think gold and silver is going. There's a place for you to comment on it, to like it. There's a place for you to send me a message. We're also going to be doing live streams on there. Those live streams will probably be, at least initially, they'll be less fun because we're not going to have as many people in there right off the bat as we're just building this thing up. But it's going to get into more of the nitty gritty on investing and talking about where do we go find the best deals? How do I really play the whole Costco game? How do I buy silver locally? How do I find people that are selling for below spot, so you can pick it up? And then last thing, as always, please hit the subscribe, the bell icon, the thumbs up. That'll open up the algorithms and keep things going. And I want to thank you guys for coming out. I don't know when my next live with Nick is yet. I need to talk to her. She isn't really doing a whole lot on her channel, but she has been on a few other channels. So we'll have to talk to her and see when we're doing that again. As of right now, I will keep doing these live streams on YouTube as well. On Slice, we'll probably be doing 2 live streams a week. They'll probably be shorter, more like 20-minute live streams, maybe 30 minutes, because it's going to be mostly investment things that we're looking at. If you want to be on this live stream as a guest, send me an email, stackingsurfer@gmail.com. Let me know why you would like to come on, if you'd like to just share your experience, or if you want to promote your YouTube channel. I'm happy to have you guys on. This is all about community. And yes, you guys, why would you buy dinged bent coins? Pay a little bit more and get brilliant coins with clean and shine. So I do recommend getting as good a product as you guys can, and get product that people recognize and can understand what it is. Like, I love the Aztec silver rounds, but they're really hard to tell what they are. Like, you cannot see very easily on those because of the Mayan calendar on it, that it's 1 ounce and it's 3/9 fine silver. And you got to get out like a, what do you call them? My brain's fried. It's been a long week. The little magnifying glass deals. Jeweler's loop, the loop. You got to get a loop out to pretty much see it on there. So make sure when you're buying silver that it's stamped. Make sure that it's something that you understand and you can test it. Always test all of your silver, guys. And I think 1 ounce is the best size to go with for silver. And I think for gold, excuse me, your 1/4 ounce is going to be really good right now. And your 1/10 ounce is going to be fine. The price keeps going up. Yeah, there's a little bit more premium, but I think it's going to be easier to sell those down the road. Your best bang for your buck is always going to be a gold 1 ounce. And same with silver. It's going to be picking up 10 ounce bars is probably your best bet for the best price. All right, guys. So this isn't going away. We're keeping this live stream on here still, but it's going to be different. I want to do more interviews with other people on here. More of the financial news stuff is going to roll over to Slice. So this isn't leaving. Don't worry about that. Anyway, until next time, peace out. Have a great weekend. Get some fresh air and enjoy your family. See you guys.